Welcome into our continuing coverage on Fox Weather and Fox News Channel. I'm Molly Lyon. Great to be with you.
And I'm Britta Merwin. Good to see you, Molly. Thank you so much for staying with us. We're going to be with you all night through these wee morning hours, and then we'll hand off to our next team. That's right here at Fox Weather. We stay with our communities throughout the duration of the storm.
Yeah, we have Fox team coverage. We are tracking all of the impacts. This is real time throughout the Northeast. The crews are spread out from New Jersey to New York into Massachusetts. But we begin this hour with Fox Weather storm specialist Mike Seidel, who is live in Montauk, New York, where Long Island is just getting absolutely slammed at this hour. Good evening, Mike.
Hey, ladies, good evening and good morning on the East Coast here from Montauk. We're about 200 miles due east of where you're sitting in Midtown Manhattan, and the snowfall totals now hitting double digits. Manorville, also Quogue on Long Island, and East Hampton, not far from here, just off to our west, all at 10 inches of snowfall, and we have a long way to go. You can see it's like a snow globe out here. The snow is coming down light to moderate at times. We haven't had what we call S+ heavy snow. That's when the visibility is a quarter mile or less. And that's what you need for a blizzard. 3 consecutive hours of quarter mile or less visibility, snow or blowing snow. It doesn't actually have to be snowing. It just has to be picked up by the wind, and we're seeing some of that tonight. And you have to have wind gusts 35 miles an hour. We'll see how many locations, how many towns and cities between Delaware and Maine, where we have all those blizzard warnings, 40 million plus people, how many of those actually verify a blizzard. And we'll know certainly more over the next 6 to 8 hours as the winds howl. Up here now, we're gusting around 40 miles an hour. It's slowly ramping up as we started off the day with winds basically running 5 to 10 miles an hour. And we had a bare ground, by the way, at 4:30 this afternoon. Look at this now. We're up over 5.5, almost 6 inches of snow as it continues to come down. Major impacts at the airports. And let me tell you, tomorrow's not going to be any fun. Most of the major airports in the Northeast have canceled 85 to 95+% of their flights. Right now, we have 5,200 flight cancellations tomorrow. But get this, they're ramping up even on Tuesday. Now we're up to almost 1,300 flight cancellations. Now, this is a heavy, wet snow, and you can see how it's blowing around, but when it's heavy and wet, it sticks to the trees. In fact, Montauk now, at the top of the hour at midnight, reporting 33 degrees. So it's edged up just above freezing. Look at this tree. If you've been following us through this evening, the weight of the snow has brought the limbs all the way down to the ground. So as a result, this is the concern that limbs could crack and split, or even trees, parts of trees could come down on power lines. Look behind me, you can see the wind blowing in the distance, and I can now hear the wind with a light roar coming through the woods towards us here on the highest point here in Montauk. We're up here at the Manor Hotel. It's been here since 1927, and we're about 100 feet above the water, and now I cannot really see the lights of the homes down on the lower end of town and out there on the edge of the water. So the visibility continues to come down. Overnight, through about midday tomorrow, winds will continue to come right up to gusts to hurricane force, 74 miles an hour, that we're expecting that. And the power outages are going to ramp up too. Right now, statewide, just 4,000, and those are out here in Nassau and Suffolk counties. But again, power outages ramping up, snow intensity picking up 1 to 2 inches an hour, and we're looking at 18+ inches of snowfall out here on the eastern end of Long Island. Travel next to impossible tomorrow. Tuesday, though, the sun will come out. Temperatures around freezing. But keep in mind now, we're less than a month from the spring equinox, so the sun angle is getting higher, it's more potent, and even with temperatures in the low 30s, we're going to see a fair amount of melting on those sunny sides of the street and on the roadways that have been plowed and scraped, like the Grand Central and the 27 going from here back towards New York City. So improvement on the way, and then at the end of the week, we all get above freezing, even above 40 degrees. So as you mentioned, Britta, earlier, this is not like the January storm where we went right into the deep freeze. Everything just locked up. It was solid ice, the big snow piles in New York City that eventually got annoying. And we'll see the melting a little faster this time. At least that's the plan with this current forecast. And by the way, we're going to be back live here at 8 a.m. Eastern here in Montauk to show you the wild scenes, not only this kind of snowfall, but winds more than double in gust.
And we'll get the ground truth of how much drifting we get with that wind. Mike, I'm a former resident of Suffolk County. The thing I love about Long Island is names like Ronkonkoma and Massapequa. What I don't like is the coastal flooding impact. So we're going through high tide pretty much around now. We got another cycle tomorrow between 11 a.m. and noon. Obviously, you're buffered up at a higher location. But you think about all these towns like Freehold. I mean, there's so many little towns along not only the South Shore, but the Long Island side and the Long Island Sound side as well that really, really do not do well with nor'easters and coastal flooding.
Well, this is true, and keep in mind, once the storm gets a little biased, the winds on the north shore of Long Island Sound will be coming and pushing the water towards the coast. So we still have the high tide right now. I don't think this is a big deal because we just don't have the wind yet. But the one tomorrow around 1 o'clock, as the storm pulls away, I think that may be more of a concern. But we're looking at minor, for the most part, minor coastal flooding, some spots moderate. This is not going to be the kind of storm we deal with, like with a tropical storm or hurricane or a nor'easter, which slows down and just pushes the water in. And we're also getting the strongest winds between the two high tides, at least here in Montauk. So that's a promising note. I think the major impact will be certainly for people that don't want to see the power out. It's the power outages and the restrictions on travel tomorrow. Tuesday, things will open up quite a bit. I don't know about schools on Tuesday, but certainly the roads will be much better Tuesday. Certainly by midday and afternoon, with a full day of sun, the higher sun angle, and temperatures getting to or a little bit above freezing. Anything that's not in the shade, like I said, salted and scraped, will melt off and dry off, so that's a good thing. But we're going to be digging out tomorrow, certainly tomorrow afternoon after the snow begins to wind down. Quite a scene tonight, though.
Yeah.
It's beautiful out here. I got the whole place to myself. The hotel, which was packed last night and sold out, is pretty much emptied out now that we're past the weekend. And also, the fact of the matter is we've got the storm coming in.
Yeah,
or
people probably
has arrived,
skedaddled.
I should
say. They got out of there as quickly as they
Yep.
could, and hopefully they're back somewhere hunkered down where they'd like to be for the duration of the storm. Mike, I want to ask you, like you said, a beautiful snow globe type of setting. We're watching that snow kind of creep up your legs. I'm sure in a few hours we'll see it even higher. But you really narrowed in on the big concern about those power outages. You said 4,000 for now. Could you imagine that will be growing? And then when do you see the wind dying down to a point that those linemen that come in from across the country can get out there and get to work and get the lights back on?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think the winds are going to start dying down tomorrow afternoon, and it'll be a whole different world by Tuesday morning. A lot of these power outages in this kind of situation generally come back on pretty quickly. We're not talking a hurricane. We're not talking a tornado where we have big swaths of trees coming down over a lot of power lines. This is going to be more of a hit and miss situation. Not to say there's not going to be thousands without power. We already have that. But generally in these kind of situations, they can get the power back on quicker versus an aftermath of a hurricane, as we've seen, where some people lose power for a couple of weeks, or the ice storm back in January in northern Mississippi and Nashville. Some of those areas didn't have power for more than 10 days.
Wow. Well, you know, I think you raise a great point there, and I'm certainly hoping for more misses than hits in this situation. Mike Seidel, thank you very much. I'm sure we'll be coming back to you, grateful for your storm coverage as it continues. Thank you.